joining us virtually to discuss Nigeria security matters is Mohammed Ali, security expert. Thank you for joining us tonight on News Hour.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So we've read a few stories on the security situation with a couple of kidnappings and abductions that have taken place. And earlier in the week, we've seen how the military have come out to say some success stories about how they've ambushed certain places and released certain people. There seems to be some sort of, what's the word? Will I say, we win this ones and we lose this ones. What's your take on the current security situation in the country?
Well, the Sahel is burning and its embassy is now a raging fire across the the northeast geopolitical zone, especially with the activities of Boko Haram and ISWAP. But having said this, I want to congratulate the Nigerian army for the big success they've had in ambushing the cartel of Boko Haram, and in the process killing over 21 Banda insurgents, with dozens of them fleeing with gun wounds, and at the same time also uh, taking over a cache of arms and ammunition from the Boko Haram members. That I think is a big success, and I believe as they continue to work harder, gradually but steadily will come to the end of this madness. But at the same time, I think we have to at the same time congratulate ourselves, the police particularly, are trying to live up to expectations. They need to put more efforts, particularly in Zamfara State. Safe local government uh, have been in the news in the last 9 days. People have been kidnapped. A few have been, about 3 people have been killed in the process. The police are up to the task, but they need to add more efforts so that they will be able to overcome the activities of bandits operating within Yankuzo Forest in Safi local government and the areas of Teshanjirgi, all in Safi local government area. I think a lot has to be done. So they need to work in concert with members of Operation Pansanyama, the military, so that together we'll be able to nip in the bud these acts of insurgency and banditry that is ravaging the northeast, the northwest, and of course the north central regions of the country.
All right, Mr. Mohammed, we talked about the Northeast. For a while, there was some sort of relative peace, especially in Borno State. But in the last, say, few months, maybe up to a year, we've seen renewed insurgency take place or happen there. What could we say is the reason for this renewed insurgency in Borno State, particularly?
Well, you see, for too long, the violence that plagues these regions, the northeast, the north central, and northwest, have before now been dismissed globally as localized acts of insurgency or banditry, a simple crime wave, they say. But to me, it is not. It is an agenda of Islamist insurgency in the northeast to a terrifying, sophisticated economy of violence, systematically fueled by acts of kidnapping for ransom, grazing, cattle rustling, illegal mining, and a devastating inter-ethnic warfare, particularly within the north central zone in Plateau, Benue, and some parts of Nasarawa states. So I think a lot has to be done. We have to go back to the drawing board and ensure that the needful is done so that together we'll be able to salvage the entire country from the ravages of insecurity as presently witnessed.
All right, so there's something that, just right after the genocide proclamation by the United States president and all that alleged genocide conversation here, it seemed like there was now a spate of insecurity, people being attacked in churches, people being kidnapped from schools. That happened back to back a lot. Do you think that that statement, in any way aided or helped that whole thing to come to bear?
Well, that statement coming as it did was most unfortunate because, for one, the people that even claimed or made the submission to the United States Congress claiming Christian genocide, I think they've not been fair to themselves because one on one, I think there are more Muslims being targeted either by elements of Boko Haram, ISWAP, or the bandits. In every 200 or 100 killed, if you count, 98 or 99% of the numbers are Muslims. But be that as it may, I think there was a little, we were a little bit slowed down because of the issue of, more attention was paid to that issue in order to settle it. And this is why the bandits and the insurgents found a leeway to do what they did. But I think we are now back on course, and certainly our forces will be very willing and ready to face these bandits and Boko Haram elements and ensure that they finish them within the shortest possible time. But again, members of the general public need to give their support by way of credible intelligence. We need to give information to these operatives because the security personnel, they are not magicians. So they need information, credible information they can work with in order to really produce results. So I'm using this opportunity to call on members of the general public to always avail our security agencies with credible intelligence so that together we'll take the fight to the bandits and ensure that it is ended within the shortest possible time.
All right, thank you so much, Muhammad Ali, for speaking to us on security matters in the country.
Thank you very much for having me.